You are listening to one of the most prolific podcasts. I'm Caleb.
It's your boy DT.
And I'm Ken.
We are the Mind Report. Here to push your mind and change your thoughts. What is going on, everybody? Look, I am very, very excited just to be here today with my brothers, and we coming to y'all with another banger for the week. You got to feel grateful for even getting this type of information on a week-to-week basis. Mm-hmm. Like, I really want to feel y'all energy through this podcast. Without further ado, I'm DT.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Caleb.
So, Caleb, I got a quick question for you.
What's that, man?
What is the thought of the day?
We're going to be talking about complaining. The reason why we're going to be talking about complaining because there's lots of things to be complaining about right now. We live in very uncertain times. There's a lot of things that's happening around the world right now. I believe that people complain because they are stressed. Stress is something that a lot of people are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. I read something that shows that complaining can cause problems in our brain. It releases a stress hormone called cortisol, which is the fight or flight chemical in our body that produces when we are in danger. Having that high level of cortisol in our body can result in high blood pressure and high blood sugar, and it causes many health problems for you. So complaining is really killing yourself. Complaining is causing nothing good in the situation, and it's also affecting your health, and it's affecting the people around you. I have a question for you guys. When did you realize you were complaining and what did you do about it?
I mean, with many of us, we just complain on a day-to-day basis. But I always tell people, I do this with myself. I go on a complain diet. I do it for at least about a week and just not try to complain, because complaining is somewhat the shovel to the death of you. Just like Caleb said, it causes many health issues with you just by you complaining. And a lot of us complain and we don't have a solution for whatever it is that we complaining about. And when you complain and you don't have a solution, now you just wasting your time and your energy talking about something that really doesn't even matter. Because if it mattered, you would have a solution to it. When I find myself complaining, I always retract my mind back to, why am I even talking about this? Because obviously it really don't have no space in my mind to even go further than whatever it is in the first place. And if it do, then I'm basically just causing some type of issue with myself on the issue that I'm having on the outside. That's what I do.
I think for me, like DC said, people complain all the time. I've learned and I paid attention to complaining, and I've noticed that complaining is associated with negativity. When you complain about something, you're looking at the negative of it. And we had an episode about negativity. In that episode, I told y'all I don't even put up with negativity from other people. I can't expect certain things from other people if I don't do it for myself. So the same boundary I hold with other people, the same one I hold with myself. I don't tolerate no negativity. When it comes to complaining, a lot of times I try not to, because it's a negative thing.
Yeah, and I want to touch back on to what DT was saying about when people are complaining and about thinking why you're complaining. Complaining causes nothing but problems. You're really going to attract the same thing. Like, if you complain about something and you don't do anything different, what are you complaining for? You have nothing to complain for because you haven't did anything different to give yourself a different solution. You're still complaining about the same thing, but you haven't did anything different to get something else. That's really crazy, in my opinion.
There are so many great things in life, so why dwell on negativity? Just like Ken said, like, a positive anything is better than a negative nothing. You cannot have a positive life if you have a negative mind. It just does not go together at all. If you don't like where you are right now, change it. And if you don't like your body, which we all know that we had this body goal, if you don't like it, change it. If you don't like being in debt, and I know a lot of people that's listening to this right now have some type of financial issue going on, and if you don't, you was once there before. And if you don't like it, change it. Definitely, if you don't like your job, you need to change that and do something different. I know misery loves company. Change. A complaint about your situation is not going to change your situation. No one is coming to save you. There's a reason why Einstein labeled the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. You must pay attention to it. There are two different types of people in this world. People who complain about their problems and people who do something about their problems. Now you need to determine which one are you.
Right. How you change that is you change your response to certain things.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that's going to come in life that's not going to be always the best. It's not always your way. It's not always going to be easy. You know, there's going to be some difficult things that's going to come into your life. But what you have to do is just change your response with it. When you change your response with certain things, it's not going to get to you because you're not going to have nothing to complain about because you already did a different route to get yourself a different solution. A lot of people do complain because of validation. They feel like they need to complain about something to release that stress with somebody that's feeling the same energy, the same vibration that they're on, just so that they can get that out their system. Before I had the mind that I have now, when I was upset about certain things, which was out of my control at the time, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for validation. I'm looking for something or someone to relieve my stress upon. You know, I have all this stress built up. I'm trying to give you some of this stress. I'm trying to relieve some of this stress. And a lot of people do that. You really got to just be aware of that. It really kills a lot of time because when you complain about something and you look for validation, you find yourself doing that the next day. And then you find yourself doing it the next day and the next day turn into weeks and those weeks turn into months. And you look back at time and you wasted so much time complaining, but not doing anything different, then you just feel like a failure. What are you complaining for if you haven't tried a different route? If you didn't take that way, if I-95 is backed up, go the other way. Like, why are you complaining if you didn't go the other route?
Sitting in traffic, complaining.
Sitting in traffic, complaining. You ain't do nothing. Right. The GPS already done told you there's gonna be traffic. Right. But nah, you went ahead and did what you did. Now you stuck in traffic. But you didn't do anything about it. You didn't do nothing different about it. You didn't change your response. You didn't do anything different. So long story short, so it's easier for people to start complaining about things because that's something that's already put into us. We're already installed to complain about something. So, yeah.
I think with life, people have to realize to accept what they can't control. And if you can control it, don't complain about it. Take the shit into your hands and actually control it. If I can control something, I'm not going to complain about it. Because if I complain about something I control, I have to accept the fact that it's my fault. It's going the way it's going. Like, I have to gain some type of accountability. So I've learned in life, if I can't control it, then let that shit go. Why waste time on something I can't control? Like the sky's blue. Exactly. Why am I finna sit there and try to make it green? Like I'm wasting time. And then if I can control it, instead of being negative and complaining about it, make a whole difference, create a solution, and actually change it so I don't have to experience that negative vibration.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to validation because people complain to people. They're looking for some type of acceptance or some type of validation to the point of why they're complaining. And I always tell people, and that's just me personally, when people talk to me about complaining, I just say I'm not going to throw a pity party for you. So I'm not going to give you no cake and birthday balloons just so you can feel good about whatever you're complaining about. Mm-hmm. If anything, I separate myself away from it because I'm not going to give you the validation that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And if you live off people's acceptance or validation, you would die from their rejection. Mm-hmm. If you come to me with any kind of problem, you don't have no solution to it, I'm going to just eject myself away from the situation anyway. Right. Because now, how Ken be saying, you trauma bond. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want somebody to agree with whatever you got going on, but I'm not in agreement with you. I know what you complain about isn't about nothing. Right. So why are we talking about nothing? Right. I got a question.
What's that?
How does complaining affect you?
Complaining already affects your health. A lot of people, and this is my personal experience because I deal with people. I'm in a people's business right now, and I deal with a lot of people. And I find that a lot of older people that have health problems, they're always complaining about something. Literally, there's always something for them to complain about. Like they're not grateful. I'm like, dang, dude, at least you got a leg. At least you got an arm. At least you can walk. At least you know how to in a retirement home. At least you got family. Because I know that there's some older people out there that don't have family. They don't have nothing. Whenever you see an older person that looks well for their age, that looks fit for their age, and this is my personal experience, they're not complaining about nothing. They really show gratitude. Mm-hmm. And I'm really telling you that gratitude is really, really key in avoiding complaining. Every morning I show gratitude and it makes my day a lot better. It makes me feel a lot better. And it's like confirmation throughout my day because I know where I'm going. I know where I'm headed. I know that where my goals are, I know I'm going to have it. No matter what my circumstances are, no matter what is going on, nothing's going to stop me from reaching my goals. Complaining has no value. Complaining really is trauma bonding, just like what DT was saying. And people are just looking for that validation. And it's really negative. It's really a low vibration to be in. And you really just got to think about your gratitude. Think about the things to be grateful for. When you're out there and you complaining about the small things that could be worse, it's always good to be grateful. And I feel like being grateful is just like the medicine of everything. Because when I'm grateful for things, and when you are grateful for things, God will give you more things to be grateful for. It plays so many parts. It makes you feel different. It makes you just be thankful for the small things in life. And, life is so short to just complain about everything. Life is so short. I firmly believe that.
I think complaining has affected me. When I complain, I don't feel right. Even sitting up trauma bonding with other people when I used to do that, it just, for some reason, it didn't feel right. I just had to really turn my perspective of the situation around. Like Caleb said, I just had to be grateful. People hear me say sometimes, they ask me how I'm doing. I tell them good. Even when the day not going good, I'm still doing good. Because I'm grateful that I'm at least able to experience even a situation that may seem negative. So complaining like that shit done affected me by like really changing my outlook on life. Now I don't even like to sit around and feel like I'm complaining. Think about complaining. It's always got to vibrate higher. The shit make the day go by. It make me feel good throughout the day.
When I'm vibrating high, there's really nothing that can really come in between my day. Even when there's difficulties, because every day is not going to be perfect. There's going to be some difficulties that come your way, but it's really all about your response to it. Just still hanging on that situation and complaining about it and doing nothing different. It's all about your response and how you handle it. All you got to do is just move differently next time. If you're a negative person and you have negative people around you too, you will attract what you are. So you really just got to just evaluate yourself. You know how Apple do the update? You got to update yourself.
Got to.
And touching back on gratitude, there is no duty more urgent than giving thanks. Like acknowledging the good that you already have in life is the foundation to have more. How does it affect me? Complaining is a dangerous business and it can be damaging, or even more, it can destroy your relationship with God. I'm not getting just holy with this, but I'm just saying it can destroy your relationship with God, your relationship with other people, and even your relationship with yourself. When you find yourself complaining about what you have and how you can put yourself in an even worse position than what you are, because if you complain about what you have already, how can you ever receive more? And like, stop complaining to God about how big your problems are and start telling your problems how big God is. And when things seem bad, instead of talking bad, ask God, what lesson are you trying to give me to learn from this? Like, complaining can definitely ruin your relationships around you and about others. So that's, to me, that's kind of like a sickness. And it shows others that you are not in control. Like, clean your home first before you start complaining to and about others. Like, complaining kills you because you start to believe whatever it is that you complain about. Like, if you keep lying for so long, you will start to believe whatever it is that you was lying about. To me, complaining is like a virus. It's very, very contagious. Pay attention to whoever you let talk to you. I don't talk to everybody, and I don't let everybody talk to me, because I'm real cautious of that, because I know that's a virus.
Right.
It's very contagious. Right. If I hear somebody else complaining, I'm going to complain by default, because I'm listening to what they say on a day-to-day basis. Right. And if I let you talk to me and complain to me, and I'm going to find myself doing the same thing. Right. So I just need to get far away from you.
Yeah. I think it's important that we learn that, like DT said, like, it's okay not to associate yourself with certain people. Anybody who know me know my first time around a group of people, my first time around people, period, I'm real quiet. I gotta
observant.
Yeah, I gotta sit back. I gotta watch how you are as an individual. And once I learn you, either I'm gonna deal with you or I'm not. It's not nothing else but that. I got to be extremely selective about who I have around me, because what I listen to, for the sake of the conversation, you could start complaining and then I find myself complaining with you. In order to stop all that negativity, I'd much rather not talk to you at all. And I don't feel bad about it. Should I look at you as complaining and walk off? Go get me a cup of water or something.
I want to touch back to that. You were saying you be real selective about who you hear.
Yeah.
So if you look at the word hear, can you find it in heart? So whatever you hear, go to your heart. So why would I let you talk to my heart if I know it's not nothing that's good for my heart?
Ooh, you nasty.
So as a man thinketh, he become, right?
Right.
So if I hear something that invokes me listening and then I'm thinking about it, right?
Right.
So if I hear you complaining and it goes to my heart, then by default, I'm going to be complaining too.
Right.
Because it just went to my heart.
Right.
So now I'm becoming the person that I don't want to become because I'm listening to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because your ears are most closest to your brain.
Yeah.
So again, front row seats, everything that you're listening to.
Right. And I got a question for you guys.
Oh yeah, what's that? What's that?
Are you a complainer?
I don't consider myself to be a complainer because I don't even like to hang around complainers. I was at work last week and the man started complaining, bro. And I asked him, like, I feel where you coming from, but what's your solution to it? If you ain't got no solution, the way I see it is you ain't got no business talking about it.
Right.
Because if you ain't got no solution, obviously it's something you can't control. If it is something you can't control, you haven't even given it enough thought to come up with a solution. So if you haven't invested enough time to solve the problem, why are you complaining about it? So me personally, I don't consider myself to be a complainer. I tend to look at the positive in the situation. Like we've been saying from this whole episode, just be grateful about what's going on. Even throughout the negative situations, be grateful that you're experiencing the negative, because out of all of it, you learned something that you didn't know before.
Yeah. With me, I'm not much so of a complainer. I was just like Ken, like I was dealing with a guy last week at work as well. And he was just telling me about his life. Like, yeah, I'm poor. And blah, 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 this, that. And we don't have this. And the president, the rich folks, they don't pay taxes and blah, blah, blah. And he just wanted some type of validation from me.
Right, pity
And yeah. And it's like, all right, man. Like, well, if you believe that, that's you, But my experiences with that, it just, it's nothing good that's going to come out of it. All it's going to do is going to keep you in the same space that you're currently in. If you grew up poor, that's not your fault. But if you die that way, that it is your fault. You did nothing about it.
Absolutely.
And that's the same thing that goes in complaining. If you're complaining and you did nothing different, we have control over our life. Everything that comes our way, we have complete control over because we have control of our response. Your response is very vital, it's very important, and it's key. It's key to everything. If I have something that really doesn't work in my favor, I just know to move differently the next time.
Right.
I know that, okay, I know I don't like this and it made me upset, or I know I don't like that, it made me feel some type of way. I'm going to move different the next time if this situation ever comes in my future. Complaining really doesn't do much for you. It doesn't have any growth. Nothing good comes out of it. To answer your question, nah, I'm not much a complainer.
If you don't like something, like I said earlier, just change. And then if you can't change it, I think Maya Angelou said that if you can't change it, just change your attitude towards it. Don't complain. Do not complain. But I'm going to be totally honest. I'd have found myself doing it from time to time.
Yeah.
I had to snap back and then realize and think to myself, like, I'm wasting my thoughts. And then most of all, I'm wasting my words on things that doesn't even matter. Like, I noticed in the past for me, from being a complainer, when I was complaining, I wasn't looking for any solutions. So then I had to come to grips with looking at myself and be like, okay, I have a problem. But at the time, I wasn't looking for a solution. I was just looking for somebody to agree with me. Like, we were just talking about validation. Like, I was looking for some type of sympathy or agreement. And I do know that complaining is basically the tongue revealing an ungrateful heart by you complaining. But I learned that no matter what the situation is, never let your emotions overpower your intelligence. Never. Don't do that.
Right.
If it's something that cannot be fixed, leave it alone.
Right.
Because by you putting all your energy into it, it's a waste of energy.
Right.
And if you waste your energy on something, you're going to get the least done. Do you want to be more productive, or do you just want to hinder yourself? That's the question you really need to be asking yourself.
Yeah. Complaining never makes anything better. If you're not helping to make it right, then stop complaining about it being wrong.
I heard this quote from the legendary Bob Proctor, the late legendary Bob Proctor, and I thank him for all that he did. But it was something that he said that just kind of resonated with me. He said, when you react, you lose control. But when you respond, you're in control. So you got to think about that. It's a difference between reaction and respond. But I do know that complaining is something that we all do from time to time. If you do it too much, it can really affect your life in a negative way. When you listen to this episode, I just want you to start taking back control and start focusing on the good that you want. And I promise you, there is plenty that you can take away from that you can be grateful for, because attitude of gratitude, it gets over complaining always. And it's up to you to completely change that. So it's important that you do that. When we complain or focus on negative, how can you expect to have a more positive life? So you need to get out there right now. And matter of fact, go on a 30-day complain, no complain diet. I want you to do this for 30 days. Do not complain about nothing. And it's okay if you fail. I just want you to start it back over where you came up short at. We want to get you out of breaking the habit of you complaining. And I heard this saying, if you do something for 21 days, you develop a new habit. So you need to have a new habit of not complaining, because it's not going to do you any good anyway.
Hopefully we added some type of value to your mind so that you can check your thoughts. Follow us on Instagram at The Mind Report. Also, you can find us at www.themindreportpodcast.com. Also, we are streaming on all platforms, so make sure you are in tune. I'm your host, Caleb.
I'm Ken.
I'm DT.
And we are The Mind Report, and we are out.
If you enjoyed this podcast episode, make sure you share it with someone else.
And be on the lookout for new episodes. And make sure you subscribe now.
This is The Mind Report.
And we are out.